It's time to shine with Kendall Lanise, transformational life coach, author, and speaker. This is a show where the spotlight shines on people, topics, and subjects that are honest, real, and relevant to you. Be ready to be educated, elevated, and entertained. Here's your host, Lady Motivator herself, Kendall Lanise. All right. Hey, party people. How's everybody doing this Wednesday? Once again, welcome to Shine. Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time, thank you. I can't thank you enough. The word is spreading and Shine is growing. So if you like what you hear on this show, don't forget to go back to previous shows and listen to Shine. You can find Shine where all podcasts are played. You can go to Spreaker, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. I want you to check the show out, and if you like it, tell a friend. But don't forget to subscribe so you can hear each show as it's being played. So I'm excited about today's show. I hope everyone had a good Wednesday. It is Hump Day. Every Wednesday. So I try to bring you a little something that will inspire you, motivate you to continue to dream bigger than you do now. It's all about the betterment of us. And I'm really just passionate about helping you get to the next level any way I can. This is a positive show. We laugh, we cry, we inspire, and that's what we're going to do today. It's going to be some of the same vibe with a different guest. So a couple of weeks ago, I started Women Bosses. That is a 4-week series I'm doing to elevate women bosses, women business owners. I think it's important to celebrate women business owners. When you think about a boss, most people think about a guy, but we are changing the game. So I decided to spotlight 4 business owners who are women. This is the episode. This is episode 2 of the 4-week series. So I have 2 more women to go, but we won't talk about them right now. We will get into who my guest is tonight. I'm so pleased and honored to have my guest, Crystal Williams of GIMMIE SUM SUGAR Bakery, on with us tonight. Hopefully she inspires you to think outside of the box and start your own business. If you want to start your own business, we are here to tell you you can. All right, without any further ado, I am welcoming my guest, Crystal Williams. Yay! Crystal, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, wonderful. Hi, welcome to Shine. Thank you for shining with me.
Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. I was going to tell you to use your outside voice, but you sound very clear. I want everyone to hear you this evening. I'm honored that you decided to do Shine. Thank you very much.
I am honored that you asked me. You're welcome. Thank you.
I see you out there. It's funny because we have to recognize what we see on social media when people are using social media for positivity or to just showcase what they're doing. And I like to catch people when they're just doing their thing and they don't even know they're doing their thing. I mean, you're diligent about posting your goods. You're diligent about talking about the locations you'll be at, and you're looking for more locations to pop up, and you just really are out there grinding with GIMMIE SUM SUGAR. So I really respect that. You are. You're doing it. You're doing it. All right, so let's get into it. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so your business, which I love the name, is GIMMIE SUM SUGAR Bakery. Tell me first, before we get into how you got started and all of that, I love that name. And I know when I hear GIMMIE SUM SUGAR, I know what that means to me. But what made you decide to name your business GIMMIE SUM SUGAR?
I was thinking, trying to find a nice, catchy, creative name, and nothing was really hitting my heart. So So I have a friend, and she's from Atlanta, and every time she sees somebody, her greeting is, give me some sugar. And we used to always tease her because she's young. And I was like, that's something somebody's grandma, it always reminds you of when you saw your grandmom or your older aunt or something. They would say, come here, baby, give me some sugar. And it just clicked. And I was like, that's it. That is the name of my business. It stuck. Everybody was like, oh, that's such a cute name. Yeah, I think you should go with that one. So all the other names that I wrote on the list just went in the trash, and Give Me Some Sugar Bakery Boutique stuck.
Now, I love it. I love it. And you're right. People do say, older people, give me some sugar, baby. Give me some sugar. So when we're talking about, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because as you decide to start a business, and this is for everyone listening, as you decide to start a business, that's the planning process. You want to think about how you're going to name it, what's special to you, what will stick out to you, what will stick out to other people, what will be familiar to other people. It's important to mull over names and not really get married to one particular name by yourself. You have to play with it. You have to tell people about the name, at least one or two people, because sometimes we think that it's a great idea or a great name. And then when we say it aloud or tell someone and they're like, that's whack. Why would you call it that? And I think that feedback is important. So with your other names, Crystal, were people like, what? Or did you even share that with anyone?
I shared it with a few close friends and a couple family members. And they were like, oh, that's cute. Oh, yeah, that's cute. But as soon as I said, give me some sugar, he's like, that's it. That is really cute. Everybody will remember that. So everybody lit up and was like, yeah, that's the one. You should go with that one. That's the best one yet. And I think it was because it was familiar, it was heartfelt, and it also was cute when it came to baking.
Yeah.
So it just was the one. It was like an aha moment.
Yeah.
And the light bulb turns on and everybody just lit up like, yeah, that's it. Give me some sugar. That's the one.
Yeah. I love it. All right. So, a lot of people out there, they know how to bake. They're like, I know how to bake. I've been baking since I was 7 years old. I make this, I make that, and I make that. And I know that you've gone to school for baking. Am I correct?
Yes, I have. Yep.
So let's talk about that, because although we might have innate talents and we love to do something, I always think it's good to still go to school or still get the training so you can become better at your craft. So have you always been baking? Is that something that you always loved? How did you get into baking?
I got into baking, believe it or not, as a child. My first babysitter, when I was very little, baked. It was an older Jewish woman. Her and her husband used to bake all the time. And then when my family moved to Jersey, my babysitter baked. It was a young black girl, and she used to always bake. So it's something that I really enjoyed doing. So a few years ago, my job was on the chopping block for the city's finances. So they kept threatening us. It's a possibility we'd lose our job. So one day I just prayed on it. I said, Lord, if I lose my job, tell me whether or not I need to find another job or just go to bakery school, because that's what I wanted to do. And that's how I ended up doing. I was home on bed rest. I had surgery, so I'm just looking online for the top pastry schools. And it was a good one here in Philadelphia, but it was attached to culinary. And I didn't want to do culinary. I knew how to cook. I appreciate cooking, but although I enjoy it, I don't love it as much as I love baking. So I found the school in Gaithersburg, Maryland, L'Académie des Cuisines. I looked it up. I reviewed it, and I was like, that's the one. I'm going to go there.
Wow.
And that's how I went.
So how long did you have to go to school for baking? Is it called I know culinary is cooking. So is it school for baking? What is it? I know you said the name of the school, but what do you...
It's pastry arts.
Pastry arts, okay.
Culinary arts or pastry arts.
Pastry arts.
Most programs in the United States are culinary, and pastry will be attached, because as a chef, you have to learn the basic, you have to learn how to put a cake together, a simple basic cake. And I knew how to bake, and I knew how to make it look relatively pretty. I had taken classes at Michael to learn how to decorate, And I was like, there's more out there than cakes and cookies and pies.
Right.
And I need to learn that. So once I started doing my research to see which schools were where and what they offered and what was not attached to culinary, I went with this school because most schools were 4 years, and this was an accelerated 2-year program. And it was tough. It was, as they say, accelerated, and they crammed 4 years of knowledge into that 2-year program.
Wow.
So it was really intense.
And how old were you when you decided to make this your profession and you decided to go back to school?
Let me see. I was probably 42.
And I wanted to stress that. And listeners, it's never, my catchphrase is it's never too late to remix your life. So Crystal decided,
especially in today's economy.
Absolutely. So Crystal decided to jump out there on faith and start a new venture, go back to school because you already went to college, correct?
Yep.
Morgan, go ahead and shout. Go ahead and shout Morgan out. You know, Morgan
State, yes, the best school in the world. I'd already had my degree and I was working, but it just wasn't the field, the job, and it's still unstable. Even though once I moved back to Philly, and yes, I'm baking, I went back in the same field, and I'm like, ugh.
What was the original field? What was your major in college and your degree in?
My major in college was communication.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted to be on the 12 o'clock news on Action News with Monica Melpass and Rick Williams. They would push me right on over there. I had it all planned out.
Well, I got one for you. I got one for you because you're a Philly girl, Jersey girl. I went to school for communications too, and my grandmother thought I was going to be the next Lisa Thomas Laurie. You remember her?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's so
and I
funny.
had it in my mind. That's what I was going to do. And then when I tried it, I was just like, oh, you don't just apply for the job? Like, you have to start as like a free coffee intern, being a runner, and you have to work your way up. And that's something that nobody had told me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, nobody feel like that. I'm getting a job. So I'm in a different field than what I went to school for, doing something totally different. And that is what made me go to school for pastry, because my heart is not in it anymore, which is social service. I was like, this is not good. I'm going to school.
See, everyone, I just really want to encourage you, if you're not inspired by Crystal's story and other stories like this, it's important to go back to school if that's what you choose to do. It's okay to change careers in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s. Wherever you want to take that turn, it's okay for you to do that. It's truly never too late to remix your life. Some people will have you saying, that's right. Some people will have you thinking, well, you've been doing this for 10 years or 15 years. You might as well retire. But the days of working 20, 30 years at one job, retiring and dying, that's a thing of the past. People are now having the average of 4 career moves in their life, different career moves. So I'm trying to tell you that it's never too late, although people think it is. It's never too late to decide to go down a different street or walk a different path. You can still do it. So don't allow dream killers to tell you that you cannot do it. Crystal, what would you tell someone who is 40 years old right now and they're deciding whether they're going to stay in their old job or whether they're going to leap out on faith as you did and start a whole new career, but they're afraid? What would you tell that woman or man?
I would say do exactly what I did or along those lines. Keep your job because, you need that. But go to school, learn a trade, whatever it is that's in your heart, try it. And if it is not for you, because you think that's your gift or that's your passion, it may not be the gift that God laid out for you. Mm-hmm. So give it a try. And if it doesn't give you the joy that you're lacking in your current job, you can always still have that job or start a new job in a different field. But if it's something you've been dying to get at, or you started before and then before the kids and life happened, you never went back to it, always do it. If you don't feel like going to school for a full 4 or 2 years, maybe you can take like a internship or some type of leadership program or something. There's always a way, especially now, whether it's online or accelerated. Just do it.
Absolutely.
Satisfy that urge that you put off for whatever reason, or you've been afraid, or because I work and I'm tired when I come home. Try something new. Learning something new is exciting. And if that excitement doesn't fill your heart with joy, then it just wasn't for you, but you always have something else.
That's
because
right.
just like with my job, I had been in my job for almost 10 years. I was getting ready to celebrate 10 years, and we got the letter that the funding was cut. So,
wow. And at any time that you work for someone else, you are, even though you might be a valued employee, if the money is gone and they don't have the funding, then they don't have you. And never think that you will not get fired, or you will not be asked to leave, or you will not be laid off, cut back, and income, just gone. Because if you are at the mercy of someone else, they can make the decision based on their business, and you could be gone tomorrow. So it's really important to try to it's bet on yourself. It's like sometimes you just have to really take that lead. Yeah.
The days of, I'm going to retire and have comfort in that thought.
Absolutely.
Of, I've been at this job for 10 years. I'm going to just ride it out for the next however many years.
Absolutely.
Those days are gone.
Right. Absolutely.
Because everybody is putting the mighty dollar first. They don't care about you and your family.
They don't care about loyalty.
You and your lifestyle.
Right.
Definitely don't care about loyalty, because their whole thing is, we can replace you, hire somebody for half the salary, and work them like slaves, and they'll do it.
Right.
And that's the problem with today's world. 10 years ago, it wasn't like that. So I can imagine what it'll be like in 10 more years.
Right. Absolutely. And I think it's important, of course, we shout out to all the women bosses that employ other women and other people that are fair bosses, honest bosses, loyal bosses. But if you're working for someone else, that might be their dream, or that might be their corporation's dream or mission to do this or that. And your mission may begin to shift. And some people don't know at that point how to shift, or how to, because there's a difference between employees, employers, and business owners. And some people, it's okay. If you're out there and you say, you know what, I'm comfortable being an employee. I don't want to be my own business owner. I don't want to be a woman boss in that aspect. That's fine too. But if you have a desire to be a woman boss and an entrepreneur and start your own business as a woman, you have the ability to do that, and you have the capability to do that. You just truly have to believe in yourself and really do the work, because that's the point that a lot of people miss. Yes, sometimes you have that innate ability and you can jump out there. But if you want to do it the proper way, if you want to have longevity in your business, if you want to cross the T's and dot the I's so you can have a high functioning business, then you're going to have to educate yourself. If you cannot go to school, maybe because of funding, then like Crystal said, there's a lot of things that you can do online. You can go to adult learning classes, even at a local community college, and get just a certificate. And those are usually low cost, or apply for scholarships and all of that good stuff. All right. So Crystal, I'm going to ask you a question, and then I'm going to take a quick break, but I want to know, and I'm sure our audience wants to know, how did you turn the schooling into an actual business? So we're going to get that answer from Crystal when we come right back. Be right back. All right, now don't forget to go to Amazon.com for my latest book, The Best Gift Ever, A Guide to Loving You, Learning How to Live Your Best Life. Make sure you leave a review on Amazon.com. Anyone who does will have their book personally signed by me, Kendall Anise. Send me an email at livingtruelivingyou@gmail.com, and I'll make sure you receive your signed copy. We'll be right back. Thank you for shining with me, Kendall Anise. If you're here for the very first time, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to the show, and don't forget to tell your friends and family about Shine. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back with Crystal Williams of Gimme Some Sugar Bakery. All right, so Crystal, before the quick break, I asked you, how did you transition your schooling and your love for baking into a business? What was the first thing you did?
The first thing I did was took a business planning class.
Love that.
It It was
Love that.
It was offered by a women's organization here in Philadelphia.
I love that.
And my dad went, I think he was like on the deacon board or something with the guy that ran the program. So he said, they're doing some business stuff. You may want to call him because it may be helpful for you. So I called the man. He was explaining to me it was to teach you how to write your business plan. And I had a business years ago, so I knew how to write the plan, but things changed. So I said, you know what, I'm going to take it. I'm sure I'll learn something. So I took the course, and I did learn a lot of new things because things had changed over the years as far as licensing and what you could and couldn't do and how you went about certain things. So after I finished that, I thought about it, and I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Started talking to people. I would just go into, like, new bakeries that I seen or bakeries that I knew had been around for a while, and I would talk to the owner, ask their opinion on it. You know, some people were really open, very helpful, and then some people only gave you the bad part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's hard. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. Well, okay, fine. I appreciate and respect your opinion, and I'm going to go on. So then I just went from there. And I was like, okay, let's see how I can make this happen for me and see how people accept the product. Because I stand by my product. I stand by my flavor. I stand by my texture. I stand by it. So I sat down. I looked through my business plan again, fine-tuned it. I knew the name was what I wanted. And, you know, I sort of like had a one-on-one with myself.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take up that little bit of free time you have.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have to commit to that. And when I first started it, I was just like, no big deal. I'll bake then. I'll bake that. I'll do this. I'll do that. And then I find myself up all night because I wasn't planned out. It was just something quick off the top of my head. And I'm like, I can't do it this way. So I had to really start to look at it as if it was brick and mortar, like a real location.
Right.
You know, like, okay, if I'm ShopRite or what have you.
Right.
Because during the business plan, you have to think of what were your top 4 competitors in your area. So that kind of stuck with me, and I was like, okay, I had to approach it as if I was, you know,
working for someone else. Right, absolutely.
Exactly. So then that's when I came up with a schedule. You know, I figured instead of trying to do everything and please everybody, I'm doing what I'm doing, and either you want it or you don't. And that's how I had to approach it, because when you're one-on-one with the customer, people sometimes get a little too relaxed and a little comfortable, and they want to question you 50,000 things. They want to, oh, well, you're not this and you're not that. And you have to not take it personally, and you have to respond in a professional manner, because if you treat them as if they were going into a store, then they will then respect you.
Absolutely.
And treat you as such.
Absolutely. You have to take your business seriously, for sure.
Yep.
So some of my avid listeners are probably like, Kendall, you didn't do the life note. So for those of you that are just tuning in for the first time, typically in the beginning of the show, I do a life note to carry us through the show, through the rest of the week, and through your life span. And I got so excited about the Women Bosses series, I forgot to do my life note. So Crystal, I'm just going to take a quick break, and I'm going to talk about my life note. All right, it's time for this week's life note. So the quote for this show is by he is the greatest, Muhammad Ali. The life note for today is: the best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up. That is the life note. The best way to make your dreams come true is to wake up. Meaning, if you wake up, you can work on that dream. Would you agree, Crystal?
Definitely. That's a very good one.
Yes, I love that, because it's so true, because a lot of people don't realize it's okay if you didn't make that decision today and you're still mulling over it, whether you want to start your own business. But if God gives you the opportunity to wake up tomorrow, you can start tomorrow. Like Crystal said, she stands by her product. She stands by her skills and her flavors. So I really want to get into that. Would you say that, piggybacking off of Muhammad Ali, would you say that having your own bakery was a dream, or is it something that you grew into?
It's a combination of both.
Okay.
And I say that because when you first start something, whether it's your first day of high school or your first day of college or your first day at your new job, you have so much anticipation, and I'm going to do this. Oh, and after this, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to da-da-da-da, and I'm going to do that. But then once you get into it and once you start, that spark that you had in the beginning sort of dies down. And you may, I'm going to get to that. It's not as urgent as when you first started.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in pastry school, I was like, okay, when I get out, I'm doing this, that, and that. I didn't think of what it took to check that list off.
Right.
And again, when I first started, when I opened my first business years ago, it was so much easier. There were so many other women programs out there to help you, and new entrepreneurship programs, and will assist you.
What kind of business did you have? What kind of business did you have?
I had a daycare center.
Okay.
I had a daycare center, and it didn't even cause me to lose a minute of sleep. It was so easy to open. But now I'm dealing with food, and it was a whole different outlook on things. And then,
so
like
wait,
I said,
wait,
there were so many other avenues for people to help or give me more knowledge on how to do it. Now it's like somebody threw me in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean without a life jacket.
Wow. So let's talk about that. Let's just pause for a minute, because you said, and there's someone out there that wants to start their own restaurant. They want to start cooking and baking, but it's something that you just said, and I wanted you to really expound on that. You said that it's so much more and it's different when you're dealing with food. What did you mean by that? Because someone's like, wait a minute, what does she mean? How is it more difficult?
The rules and regulations dealing with food. Let's say when I opened up my daycare, let's say it was a 10-page application or 10 pages of rules and regulations. When it comes to food, those 10 pages turn into 1,000 pages.
Are you serious?
And, no, you can't do this. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, because you're dealing with people's health. Isn't that something, though? You're dealing with people's children, and it's not that extensive. But when you're dealing with food, it's very extensive.
Yes. And I think because of so many people, sad to say, but there's always a wrong to a right. There's so many people out there doing wrong. And so it's made it so much more difficult for the people that are trying to do right.
I'm sure.
And when I was asking other bakery owners or, even small little boutique restaurants or something, when I was out asking those people, the people that had been in business for years, this came from my dad or this was passed down for generation to generation, they didn't have to do anything new or anything major.
Gotcha.
So how did you get started? Oh, you just went downtown and you did that and you paid this and da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
It was more like when I opened my daycare center. The license and inspection people came out, checked you off. The fire company came out, checked you off, and it was a short list.
Right.
So now, once I started speaking to more of the newer businesses, they was like, oh, there's so many times I wanted to quit, and all that you have to go through. As soon as you think you got it right, they change a law or they rearrange something or you have to do this. And I was like, geez,
right.
There's a whole lot to do.
So did that discourage you Did that discourage you?
It didn't discourage me because, again, I love what I do. And as my mom used to say, it's like an old saying, by hook or by crook.
Right.
I knew I was going to do it.
Right.
So I just had to, instead of thinking, I'll be open in 6 months or I'll be open a year, it's going to take me 1 year to check off one of those things on the list. So I'm just patient. I'm still getting my product out there, and I'm still getting my name out there, and I'm still working towards brick and mortar.
See, that's so important, Crystal. And somebody out there needed to hear that. I truly believe that because so many people get discouraged by paperwork. They don't know how to fill it out. It's too much. It looks overwhelming. And that stops a lot of people from starting their own business, whether it's a nonprofit, because that paperwork is deep, really, y'all. It's extensive. Or starting a business, or even some people don't want to do a business plan. I've heard people say, well, I don't need a business plan. I know what I'm doing. But if you need investors, you need a business plan. If you want to keep your business and what you're doing, if you want to have it professional, if you want to do it the right way, if it's about longevity, you need a business plan. And there are a lot of...
You need a business plan. To me, I'm sorry for cutting you off. I feel that the business plan is the business owner's Bible.
Yes.
Because if you want to be accepted as some of these major lifelong corporations, I don't care if you're selling socks out the trunk of your car. You still have to respect yourself and your business as these people that's been around for hundreds of years.
That's right.
If you know, oh, I only eat this type of mayonnaise and nothing can get you to eat a cheaper brand, it's because you respect their product.
Right,
and
quality. Right.
It's quality, and you respect them. They've been around. You grew up on it. That's what you want to be.
That's right.
So you once you put your time into that business plan, and you can always reference that, it's so worth the time.
Yes.
It really, really is.
Yes.
I would never try to just, let me just go off the top of my head and wing it.
Right. But you guys have to know that it is going to take some time. It is going to take some work. You may be frustrated doing that business plan. You might have to do some parts over and over and over again. You might have to consult with someone. You might have to come up with new ideas. You're going to have to stretch yourself. You're going to have to think. But you want to put that into your business. And if your business is worth it, then you are going to do the work. Now, I know, Crystal, you talked about having a storefront. How long? So when you graduated from, and this time went fast. We got about 10 minutes. So when you graduated from pastry arts school, and then you decided to start your own business, how are you getting your product out there now? And what is the goal for Gimme Some Sugar? The ultimate goal for your business?
The ultimate goal is a brick and mortar, a storefront where people can come in and place an order. That is the goal. But until I get there, my process to get there is I go out into the community. I go out to people. I give out cards. I explain who I am and what I'm doing. I go around to people and take orders. And then it's word of mouth. And when I go out once a week on Saturday, and I'll have the goods I have a basket, and people say, that's the lady with the basket. That's the one from Gimme Some Sugar. So they recognize the basket before they realize who I am, because I'm not the only person that has a dream in a business. It's everybody. So, everybody has their thing. It's just like Action News. There's that news van again. People know that's the one with the basket. I like her product. I like her. I like her business. So I go out to the people, and then I take orders. I explain to them, I'll be back next week. The menu changes every week, but if you have a request, or is there something any questions or a specific item that you want, here's my card, my name. You can text me or call me, and I'll see what I can do. You have to go out, and I am not that person. When I first started, I had to take my daughter with me because she's the voice. But after doing it, then they know me. Now you get a little bit more comfortable. And again, the only way somebody is going to know who you are and what you're doing is to get it out there.
That's right. That's right. Well, I had the pleasure, Crystal, and I'm still thankful for that. You had a table at my women's conference, just the very first annual Gleam Women's Conference. And I got an opportunity to taste, because I love strawberry shortcake. My mom loved your products. My daughter, I must say, pretty tasty, pretty good. The strawberry shortcake, and I forgot what else I had, but it was moist. See, I'm funny about baked goods. It can't be all dry. It has to be moist. It has to like get me at that first bite. It has to be good. I don't want to eat halfway through and I'm trying to figure out if it's good or not. I want to, be able to.
Or you say, oh, this would be great with some coffee, or this would be good
Right.
with a glass of milk. 'Cause
Right.
that's a nice way of saying
It's dry.
I need something to wash this down. 'Cause it's
Right.
dry.
Right.
Or it's too bland.
Right. Right. So with your business, and unfortunately, some people are going to have to, hear that in order to perfect their business. But I think good criticism is always good when you're in business, because you want to perfect your business. You want to make it better. So you're out of Philadelphia now. How can people taste Gimme Some Sugar cakes? And then I want to know, what are your top selling items?
They can. I'm on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Gimme Some Sugar, GIMMESUM Sugar, SUGAR. Or they're feel free to call me at 267-979-6796. I have pictures up. If you have any questions, you can just ask me, inbox me, or whatever it is you feel comfortable with doing. And I would say there's no one seller. Everybody has their favorite, but I would have to say banana pudding, strawberry shortcake, and cheesecake. Any flavor. It depends on what you like. And I always try to create something new, or a lot of times people will see something on Instagram or Pinterest, and they'll mention it to me, so I'll make it. So
do you
those
ship?
Are the top 3 sellers.
Do you ship your baked goods?
No, I haven't started shipping, but before the year is out, I do plan to start shipping. I'm just trying to find the right packaging and the right way to preserve the item, so when it reaches its destination, it's still intact. Yeah,
and that's integrity in your business, because a lot of people might say, well, you know what? Somebody in California wants to taste. And instead of having that integrity, saying, you know what? I want to make sure my product is protected, and I'm not going to send that because I can't guarantee the freshness. I haven't found a way. People will just try to get the money and then send it anyway, and then ruin their reputation. So I respect that. So are you around? So I know you're based out of Philadelphia. Where do you travel to let people taste your Gimme Some Sugar? Where do you go?
I go all over. Every Saturday, I cover Philadelphia from West Oak Lane to South Philly.
Oh, wow.
I cover just about all the major areas. But
so you're on the street, or you're going to businesses? How are you getting it out?
I'm going to businesses. I go to barbershops. I go to beauty salons. And during my day job, I get into a lot of daycares. So I'll go in there and I'll leave a card there, or I'll, go in and give them the greeting and let them know what I do. And anybody I pass by, and when I vend, so where are you at? I ask people where they are. So, I can get down there, or, and I just try to get the word around. When we vend, just like I came to Baltimore, it takes me to various places. I've gone to New York a few times. I've gone to North Jersey. I've gone to Maryland, Virginia, Delaware. So wherever there's an opportunity, if I think it will be beneficial, I'll try it.
Wonderful. And I love that it's all about self-promotion. Tell someone out there right now the importance of promoting yourself and promoting your business, because you said at first you were nervous, and a lot of people are nervous. They don't want to walk up to someone, because that's pretty bold, and say, hey, I have a business. This is my product. Would you buy? Tell our listeners the importance of self-promotion.
If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So no matter how nervous you are, you're not going to stay at home and be your only customer. And the only way is to go out there and do it. And if you're not sure, if you still, I just can't do it, do what I did. Find somebody to go with you until you're comfortable. I listen to a lot of motivational speeches on YouTube, and that gives you the energy. It gives you that that push to go. And then this is me, and I'm proud of the product that I produce, so it's no need for me to be nervous, because whatever question they have for me, I have the answer.
I love it.
And if it's something that I don't have the answer, I'll get it. But when it comes to baking, for the most part, And there's always somebody every Saturday, at least one person that tries me. They question something, or, well, my grandmother did it this way, or something. But again, when you put that business plan together, all these things, it's tools in there, so you have a go-to with an answer.
See, and everything goes back to that business plan. It's important. And that's what Crystal was talking about earlier. Like sometimes when you're trying to answer on the fly, or you're trying to do something as you go, you don't sound as confident. You don't sound like your business is planned out. And sometimes when people hear that, they're betting on how long this business is going to last, because you have to really, I always say, even when I'm coaching and when I'm speaking, you can't go from M to A, back to C to Z. Yeah. It's an order to things. There are steps and processes and procedures. You have to go from A to Z. If you start at M, I guarantee you'll have to go back to A in order to come back to M and then go to Z. There are processes and steps for a reason. And sometimes, well, I will say most of the time, when you take the easy way or the shortcut, you're not going to be as successful as you might. You might have success, but it might be temporary. So I want to shout, give me some sugar out. I want everyone listening, if you are planning a retirement party, an anniversary party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, what else, Crystal? A birthday party, what else?
A retirement, a girls get together, anything, any event, a holiday, just a Sunday dinner, anything. Give me some sugar. We'll have a dessert on that table that you will be satisfied with.
And like she said, she is working on a brick and mortar. She's working on a storefront business. When do you see that opening up? What's the vision for that? I know you said that you're working on it now piece by piece, but what are you projecting?
Within the next 5, no more than 10 years.
Okay.
Because time doesn't stop or wait for anybody.
Okay.
So a reasonable amount of time by then.
And somebody might say, well, that's a long time. But like I said, there's an order to things. And you have to, only you know how long it's going to take you and what steps you're taking and what you're doing. Because what Crystal is doing is really growing her business. She's getting the word out about her business. She's on this show. She's on other shows. She's on social media. She is really doing the work. She is pounding the pavement. And I know a lot of people don't know about Philadelphia, but she said she goes from West Oak Lane to South Philly. That's not around the corner. And she's putting, right, that's all day. And she's putting up tables and she's vending. And that's what you have to do. A lot of people see the finish line. They say, well, I want a store immediately. And they go out and open up a store and nobody even knows about their business. They didn't promote it at all. And then they're folding because nobody is coming. Yeah. Right. So you can't have a business if nobody supports it.
Yes, your family loves it. But you need more than your family to be successful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we have about 2 minutes left. I want to thank you, Crystal, so much for joining me today on Shine and for shining with me. For 30 seconds, what advice can you give someone who wants to start a business plan today?
Do your research. Utilize the internet for all the knowledge that is there. And don't shortcut yourself. My mom had a saying, and this is what keeps me going: nothing beats a failure but a try. You have to try. You'll never know if it was for you if you don't put that first step out there.
Absolutely.
Let your fear be your fuel.
Let your fear be your fuel. We're going to stop right there because that's a powerful statement in itself. And I don't need to say anything else other than thank you so much for Crystal for being on Shine. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciated it as well. It was great talking to you. And for everybody out there, step out on faith.
Absolutely. 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 So support Crystal's business. Crystal, I'm proud of you. You're making it happen. You're promoting yourself. You're doing something that you love. It's all about passion products and passion. Allow your passion to become your purpose and then to become your moneymaker. And when you do that, you'll never feel like you're working because you're doing what you love. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back with you next Wednesday. Thank you for shining with me. God bless. All right, now don't forget to go to Amazon.com for my latest book, The Best Gift Ever, A Guide to Loving You, Learning How to Live Your Best Life. Make sure you leave a review on Amazon.com. Anyone who does will have their book personally signed by me, Kendall Anise. Send me an email at livingtruelivingyou@gmail.com, and I'll make sure you receive your signed copy. We'll be right back.